Look, man, before I get into this video, I just want to start off by saying I appreciate everybody who's been rocking with me. A lot of new love to the channel. You know, I've been putting out some content and a lot of feedback, some comments, people following me on Instagram, stuff like that. I really, really, really do appreciate you guys. Um, I'm going to try to be a little bit more consistent, but man, I know you guys saw in the last video, I told you guys I got about 14 new cars. So that just means, you know, I'm a lot busier as well on the outside of things. You know, there's a lot going on right now. I got rental after rental after rental after rental. And then, you know, when I'm done, you know, I work out, I go to the gym, I make sure I take care of my health and stuff like that. It just never stops. The car search, the car buying, the constant phone calls from business and this and other people in the market and people trying to buy cars. People think I'm an auto broker and stuff like that just because they see me all over Instagram buying cars. And then obviously I go to these dealerships. I just know so much about buying cars. Everybody thinks I'm an auto broker. So yeah, I get calls constantly from dealerships. Oh, I got this car. I need to go out. I got this car. I can make a deal. I got this car. Do you know anybody? Blah, 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 blah. Okay. So I just got back from San Diego. Had an amazing wedding out there that I attended. It was amazing. But it is raining right here in LA, and it is 2:30 p.m. on a Tuesday. I got all my cars out for today. Doesn't seem like there's going to be any more going out with this rain we got going on. So I figure, you know what? Let's create some content. I've been seeing a lot about this EV report and a lot of the market crash, and I've been looking at some Teslas, man. I just got an offer for a 2024 Tesla from Tesla in my email for $31,000 after taxes, delivered this year. Right. I was in San Diego. My buddy's asking me, he was in I-8. He's asking me, oh, what do you think about the business? What do you think about blah, blah, blah? What do you think about this? What do you think about that? I'm just giving a little bit of insight. He also has a Tesla Model 3. And I was like, bro, how much you get your Tesla Model 3 for, bro? He bought it for like $42,000. And I'm like, what the fuck, bro? Those are like 23,000 right now used. 20 grand, 24 grand used, you know? So he's like, man, I got fucked, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, you know, it's just a market change, bro. We can never predict it, and it just happens, bro. The best thing to do right now is, you know, get it on the platform, blah, 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 let it pay for itself at that rate, you know what I mean? Don't take it as, oh, I got fucked in the market. Bro, I have a bunch of cars when I first started where, you know, you could say, whatever the case is, everything's working out. But I'm not going to say just buy cars and, you know, not pay attention. One thing I'm going to show you right here, this is why I want to make this video, is pretty much, you know, there's been so many reports on the EV market, bro. I don't think it's gonna last right now. I think it's gonna have to have a reset, and maybe we'll touch base with the in 5, 10 years. I just don't think the infrastructure right now is for it. I've been seeing a lot of stuff going on with these EVs. People can't sell them. Dealerships can't sell them. A lot of my buddies own dealerships. They can't sell these cars, bro. They're losing. They're giving rebates. They're doing this. They're trying to just flood the market, bro. The EV market's not doing too well right now at all. I would stay away from it personally if I'm you. I'm going to stay away from it even though I have two EQS Mercedes. I'm going to stay away from it. And let's just hear what they have to say. Okay?
For EVs, a shocking new EV report revealed the EV market.
Like, for instance, the Hummer. Bro, the Hummer is supposed to be the hottest truck out. My dad bought one. He put like $500 down, whatever the case is, blah, blah, blah. This is a year ago, whatever. Bro, those things went from like 200,000 to like 163. Now they're all the way down to like 120 grand, bro. Maybe even 100. So we're taking a 100K loss already. Tesla Model Ys are 55, 60 grand. Cybertrucks are now 57 grand starting. 2-wheel drive. Tesla Model Ys are now 30 grand. 20K loss if you ordered one last year.
It is crashing hard. Car makers can't sell EVs and are losing billions of dollars. This EV report tells exactly why EVs are not the future for us and why the EV market is crashing. And get this, it even laid out 3 major EV flaws causing Tesla's stock to plunge by
That's another
$80
thing.
billion in just a week. What exactly is this EV report all about? Are the political leaders hiding something? Are EVs a scam? If you thought car makers
like the EV6, bro. Kia EV6 was like, bro, it's so cheap now, bro. like $25,000, and this video is 3 hours
Behind
ago.
this forced EV push on the public, just wait till I tell you about some crazy EV failures mentioned in this report. Our story begins
Things are having problems, bro. Recalls, all kind of nonsense, bro. You know, you got to expect
in
that.
2023. EV sales were finally picking up since most of the brands started making more and more EVs. But some real horror started when some older customers shared the full story on just how traumatic their EV ownership has been. And just now, a new report by Consumer Reports exposed EV companies including Tesla providing evidence of how EVs are simply not safe. More on this in a minute.
At Motorcycle Mechanics Institute, you will train.
We're not here for the commercials, big dog.
Then we also have some big economists claiming that the EV market is going to be the next big flop. Turns out, despite all the fake hype and the government's
see that.
$7,500 tax credit tactic, people are seeing through the hype and going against EVs. Ford and General Motors, two giants in the car world, are feeling the pinch. Ford's EV unit is bleeding cash, losing over $1 billion in just 1 quarter, and they're even dialing
Losing over $1 billion in 1 fucking quarter.
back on their EV investments. GM's in a similar boat with EVs eating into their profits big time. And then there's California, the state that's been leading the charge on the whole EV revolution, promising to kiss goodbye to gas cars by 2035. But plot twist,
I don't see that
Tesla
happening,
sales in
bro.
California took a nosedive, dropping 10% in the last quarter of 2023. This is huge because Tesla's been the poster child for EVs, and California's been their playground. So what's going on? There's a bunch of reasons floating around. Public charge.
Bro, I know you guys saw Hertz also cut the contract with Teslas, bro. There's too many problems, bro. The infrastructure's not there, bro.
Charging stations are a bit of a mess. Prices for these slick electric rides are sky high, and the incentives from the government are as clear as mud. Plus, Elon Musk, the big boss at Tesla, has
You look at a big corporation like Hertz, and they're cutting the contract like that, 240 some thousand fucking Teslas or some crazy shit, bro. There's got to be a problem. Something they know that we don't.
comments, which might be turning some folks off. He said China is soon going to take over our market, but before I tell you about that, let's zoom in on how
I have seen that BYD.
Ford and GM together lost $5 billion on their EV division in a single year, meaning they sold each EV at a $36,000 loss. Then we had Tesla, a brand which was profitable, but only after they introduced 7 price cuts in a single year to stay competitive and relevant. The thing is, people want EVs if they don't cost them an arm and a leg. And right now,
That's the thing. Like, who's gonna be excited to buy $100,000 electric car? Nobody. Who's gonna be excited to buy an $80,000 electric car? Nobody. Who's gonna be excited to buy a $60,000 electric car? Nobody.
is relying on China for 80% of our supplies, leading to higher production costs and a risky reliance on another country.
These are the things you guys need to do. Especially like this type of research, this is the stuff you guys need to learn. Especially I'm talking to you guys, especially who want to get into Turo and car rentals. Stop going out buying these cars, not knowing your research on it. Know your background on this stuff, man. The car's with you, it's yours. You got to learn this stuff. It's important.
But here's the kicker. At the start of 2023, EV sales were through the roof, like a rocket. Then out of nowhere, they took a nosedive faster than a roller coaster. It's like everyone suddenly decided EVs weren't cool anymore. Plus, with bank interest rates going up, these electric beasts got even pricier to own. People started looking at hybrids and old-school gas guzzlers again. Even Toyota's big boss is throwing shade at EVs, betting big on hybrids and hydrogen gas cars. And it's not just the US where this is happening. Sales are also going down in Germany, despite the fact that the EU has put a ban on gas cars after 2035. Sound familiar? As a result of this loss, Ford, Toyota, GM, and even Tesla are killing their EV plans. Tesla called off their plan to build a new EV factory in Mexico. GM has delayed their EV pickups and recently axed their cheapest EV, the Chevy Bolt. And Ford too killed off their F-150 production and are tired of seeing poor F-150 sales. You'd think they'd sell like hotcakes, right? Being the #1 for so long, but not quite. It's like trying to convince a steak lover to go vegan overnight. And the issues don't stop there. From range anxiety to buggy software, it's a laundry list of why this might not work. People are also worried there aren't enough charging stations, which is kind of like having a phone with no...
That's a big thing, bro, the charging stations, especially for some of my renters and stuff like that. Even for me, bro, I'm so damn busy. Who wants to pull up? First off, you have to drive out of the way. to go find a charging station. Then you have to get there. Then people are there, depending on what car you're driving. Most of the time, I'm in a Mercedes, so I got to go to Electrify America. That's where you get 2 years for free because that's just what it is, bro. You go to Charge Point, their chargers are trash. A lot of these aftermarket chargers that people just buy and put them in little 1-2 stands, giving out 20 fucking kilowatts, trash. Tesla's the closest thing to being accurate, and there's 50,000 people sitting there every time I go to charge a fucking Tesla. So it's like, and then these people destroy these chargers and don't know what they're doing. And it's just, I don't know, bro. It's not there for me.
Place to charge it. And the plot twist? EV's success might have been riding on a wave of government cash and rules, but now as those sweet deals are drying up, so does the interest in EVs. In places like Germany and France where the EV perks got slashed, their sales took a hit. And in the US, fewer cars are getting that coveted tax break. Now let me uncover all
But he wants 'em.
factors that the latest EV report exposed, bringing down Tesla's stock price by billions in just under a week.
Mobile games are going big.
We're not here for that.
Free Fire Max is now.
Imagine.
What do I need to do?
excited about
YouTube,
these sleek,
Premium or
silent
something? Get rid of
EVs
those?
zooming around, thinking they're the future, but then wham! A report comes out saying these futuristic rides are actually causing their owners more headaches than the good old gas guzzlers. 80% of EV owners never want to buy one again. We're talking about 330,000 vehicles.
That's another thing. Is like when you buy them, there's so many fucking problems. It's like, bro, that little bit of gas I'm paying, bro, I don't give a fuck about that. I'll be more than happy to pay that.
Covering all sorts of issues from engine snags to electric motor malfunctions, leaky situations, and those pesky infotainment systems that never seem to listen. Now,
Bro, sorry, I don't want to keep pausing it, but check this shit out. My boy got a Cybertruck, right? It was raining. Tell me why his shit is rusted. Brand new Cybertruck. It's rusted after the rain.
where it gets juicy. The report points fingers at two main culprits. First up, the traditional car makers, who are like the new kids on the block when it comes to EV tech. Then there are the newbies like Rivian, who are just dipping their toes in the car-making waters. It's like everyone's fumbling around in the dark, trying to figure out how to put these electric puzzles together without losing pieces. And guess what's topping the chart of woes? Electric drive motors, charging issues, and oh, the heart of the beast, those EV batteries. But get this, the charging problems aren't about finding a plug in the wild. It's the cars themselves throwing tantrums when it's time to juice up. EVs are refusing to charge in winters while the battery is dropping up to 40% quicker. Due to all these issues, EVs are also losing resale value faster than any other car. A Tesla Model X would lose $21,000 in just a year, and that's coming.
Bro, I just seen a Model X. I just seen a Model X for $39,000. 2021. Blacked out. 50,000 miles on it. I just saw it.
Coming from Tesla's own app itself. Now, let's get to the juicy part, the root of all evil in this saga. Turns out, EVs aren't the green superheroes everyone thought they were. They guzzle electricity, often from not-so-clean sources, and they're hungry for rare earth minerals that come from places where the environment takes a serious beating. And don't even get me started on the headache of recycling these high-tech batteries. No, you can't just chuck them in the ocean. The plot thickens when you consider how Americans traditionally love their gas guzzlers. Despite Ford and GM pouring buckets of money into electrifying icons like their F-150 Lightning and Silverado EVs, people just aren't biting. Over 3,000 auto dealers are up in arms, basically telling the Biden administration to back off with the EV push. They're also refusing to showcase any EVs in their showrooms because they truly know how poor the demand is. But wait, there's always more. Insuring an EV has become a nightmare.
That's
Talking
true.
about premiums that could hit
That's true.
$6,000 a year.
Bro, you know how hard it is to get these parts?
Ouch. With the cost of fixing or replacing parts through the roof, not to mention the ticking time bombs that are the EV batteries, it's no wonder insurance companies are getting cold feet. The worst aspect of owning an EV, though, is the EV fires and the 112 people that have died so far. Imagine
What?
this.
I didn't know that.
One battery cell gets a little too hot, maybe from damage or a defect. This starts a chain reaction, getting hotter and hotter, and then boom. It sets off its neighboring cells, and suddenly you've got an inferno on your hands. What's wild is how tough these fires are to put out. Traditional methods just don't always cut it. Firefighters often have to drown EVs in water for hours, sometimes even days, to make
That's
sure
crazy,
the fire
bro.
is truly out, because those battery cells can keep reigniting like some kind of zombie fire. And the plot thickens. There have been some high-profile cases like Tesla's turning
Damn.
into fireballs after a crash, or Chevy Bolts catching fire while simply sitting parked. This has led to massive recalls, like Chevy recalling over 140,000 Bolts, costing a fortune and sending ripples of concern through the industry. And get this, Tesla CEO Elon Musk just dug his own grave by saying that China will soon take over our market. But how exactly? Let me explain. BYD in China has been constantly beating
I've seen
Tesla
this
in
brand.
sales because they've always been a battery manufacturing company, and they're also supported by the Chinese government. And now BYD is even in the US. To help them further, the Chinese just pushed a massive export ban on materials needed to make EVs. Remember how I told you we rely
What? I didn't know this. Pay attention. Pay attention, bro.
just pushed a massive export ban on materials needed to make EVs.
Wow, so they trying to shut this shit off. So they trying to really control this shit.
Remember how I told you we relied on China for 80% of our supplies?
Yeah.
This means that American EV prices are soon going to increase due to supply chain issues, and a massive crash is just on the
Wow.
horizon. And
Wow.
the
I did
government
not know
is
that part.
trying to save the day with mandates and regulations. They want everyone zipping around in EVs, cutting down emissions, and saving the planet. Quite noble, right? But here's that kicker. The grand plan is bumping up against some serious reality checks. Costs are soaring, supplies are iffy, and we're leaning way too heavily on resources from other parts of the world. Governments need to understand that EVs just aren't right for everyone. Giants in the car world like Ford and GM have hit the brakes hard, realizing that maybe, just maybe, the world isn't ready to ditch gasoline-powered rides just yet. They're seeing that good old internal combustion engines are still going to be the kings of the road for a while longer, anywhere from the next decade to half a century. But sadly, despite all the warning signs and the market doing its best Titanic impression, some of our leaders are still all in on the EV dream. It's like they're
I don't know how, bro.
convinced that if they just push harder, the future they've painted in their heads will magically materialize. The problem is, running a business, especially something as complex and high stakes as car manufacturing, isn't something you can just wing. And when politicians try to play CEO, things can go sideways fast. The EV debacle is a prime example. Has the EV bubble burst already? Yes or no? Let's start a discussion in the comments below.
I don't even want to read these comments. It's like, I already know, bro. This is a bad look, bro. So, yeah, man. Hopefully you guys got a little bit of value out of this. Let me know if you guys want videos like this. It's raining. I could have made a couple other videos for you guys, but this is something that just popped up. I definitely wanted to, dive into, just because I know a lot of you guys are, should I get EV? Should I not? Should I? They're cheaper right now. Well, do your research. Pros and cons. These cons might outweigh the pros. What is the pro? Saving money on gas? I'll catch you on the next one, man. We out. Hey, hit that subscribe button, drop a comment down below, hit that like button. I appreciate you guys. We gone.